and welcome back to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and I am, as always, your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai.
Finn Fisher.
Nolani Stevenson. Yeah.
I'm unconscious.
Sure.
Oh my god.
And Taylor Wallace.
How are we going to do the podcast if Nolani's unconscious? Malachi Kassir.
Great. And yeah, we are back, and really right in the middle of things. So let's do a quick recap and then dive right into the current situation. So
Nolani unconscious, totally unrelated.
Not related to, Reagan's fine, actually.
I've been mercy killed.
So, last session, the party had just saved Malachi's adoptive moms, Shala and Mar, from a assassin who presumably had been sent to silence Mar after she found out some classified information. You got away from the forge where the attempted assassination had taken place, went by Shala and Mar's home to kind of like pick up some things they might need, including a cat, who is now on Matt Black, just hanging out.
Crucial.
You then made your way off Fesliyan and onto Matt Black, where you set sail, heading for the headquarters of the Archaeological Artificers Association. En route, you spoke to Mar and discovered that the information that she had come across, she had basically coincidentally come across a correspondence addressed to her father, General Neiman, which detailed some things about the experiments that Dr. Retval has been doing in order to create weapons, including some weapons that are with the army already, and then there was supposed to be a shipment of some more coming, which would supposedly help break through some magical defenses that Erebrer has, and hopefully, well, unhopefully for you guys, but hopefully for Lithios, let them break through and kind of take Erebrer, and by doing so, basically secure their control over the entire ocean, or at least the parts of it where people live. So Mar had found out some information detailing all of that, including the location of Retval's new facility, where he's been doing these experiments and creating these weapons. Mar was disturbed by this, pitched to her father basically that they should try and do something about this, and was sent home. She sent out some correspondence to other people that she trusted, and somehow, as a result of that, ended up with an assassin shoving a spear through her back.
I found out this sensitive information, and all I got was this lousy assassin.
So after kind of learning that from Mar, there was somewhat of a tense conversation between Malachi and his moms.
Somewhat of a tense conversation.
Yeah,
you mean Taylor's fucking Grammy award-winning performance?
Maybe
we sang the whole combo.
Where Malachi sort of confronted his moms for not letting him kind of, I don't really know how to sum up that conversation in a summary. Go listen to the episode.
Yeah, just go back.
And so only a few hours after that took place, you saw another ship on the horizon, which turned out to be the Lost Crystal, Nira's ship. Nira called over to you.
Our best friends.
Yeah, Nira called over to you that she had something to show you. You went over to Nira's ship and immediately found yourselves trapped inside an anti-magic field and a kind of invisible box of force. Dr. Retval revealed himself, said some very dramatic villainy sorts of things, and then collapsed the box in on itself, which knocked Regin and Malachi unconscious. However, Finn, being a half-elf, was not knocked unconscious. Retval then attempted to knock him unconscious the old-fashioned way, but was not quite successful, and a very injured Finn managed to run to the edge of the ship and jump off, leaving behind an unconscious Regin and Malachi, and a grappled Nira, who, upon learning that Retval intended to take Malachi as well as Regin and Finn, had attempted to rally her men to fight back and been unsuccessful. So, that is where we are now.
You know, I bet if Retval did it the real old-fashioned way and he was handy with his fist, this all would have been fine.
Yeah, put up your dukes, Doc.
So, Taylor and Nolani, you guys can sit back for a second.
Hell yeah.
Finn,
I've been waiting for this.
the first question I have for you. So you are in the ocean, diving toward the bottom of the sea. Everything's kind of dark and quiet around you. You are quite injured. Where Retval had hit you just sort of felt like your soul being sucked out of your body, and there's some like patches of like necrotized flesh. But you did also take some stabs from the pirates as you ran, so there is like a trail of your own blood behind you in the water, which would probably be concerning to some people, but frankly, you'd love to see a shark right now. You are swimming down. The first question I have for you is, how deep are you going to swim before you, like, stop?
I'll go deep. I'll go, God, I don't have a sense of how deep different depths are, but
How deep is your love?
I'll go like a few 100 feet down.
Okay. Go ahead and make as you're swimming, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
And I am, all the while, continuously broadcasting my message, summoning fish to my aid.
Yes.
13.
13, okay. As you kind of, like, are starting to swim down, you sort of, like, look over your shoulder. You see there was really only one person who had, like, saved on your fear effect and been in the water enough to kind of chase you, and you see he, like, gets... I don't even think he'd go a full 100 feet down before he, like, turns around and swims back up. You also see that the ship, the Lost Crystal, is moving, and, like, pretty quickly. Like, above you, it is, like, doing a sharp wheel and starting to go, like, southwest. Actually, no, southeast. Going...
Thank God. I was gonna say, Southwest isn't real. They made that up to sell airplanes.
And it is kind of, like, taking this, like, sharp turn and is starting to move quickly enough that you're like, wow, fuck, are they even picking up the people who are in the water? Like, they are, like, booking it away from here. As far as the fish go, please just go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
10.
Okay. With a 10, there are fish around here. Actually, in addition, give me a persuasion check.
14.
14, okay. With a 10, there are enough fish around here, and they are kind of, like, willing enough to listen to you that, like, as you dive, you're having fish kind of, like, swarming around you, and then if you send them, kind of, like, going up and covering your retreat a little bit. You are not lucky enough to have, like, a sea monster or anything like that down here. But
Nothing that could sink a ship.
Yeah, nothing ship sinkable with a 10. But
Not even a particularly brawny trout.
There are some big trout, and in fact, there is also a like a reef shark. Actually, there's not a reef around here. What's a small shark? A tiger shark. There's like a tiger shark that like comes alongside you and kind of like bares its teeth, but not in a threatening way, in a friendly way.
I'm very comforted by this.
I'm really glad that you're being consistent with your shark ecology and your fantasy world, Hannah.
Just want to make sure.
I'm glad there are freshwater trout in the ocean.
Ah, damn. A particularly brawny cod.
There we go. So you do have, like, some fish around you, but you do not have enough fish to sink a ship. You dive a few hundred feet before you kind of, like, start to, like, pause a little bit to kind of catch your breath and sort of, like, recover here. You are drifting in the expanse of blue. The ocean floor is, like, another couple hundred feet or so below you. You're not in a super deep part of the ocean, but, like, you are in the open sea. And you are hanging out.
Okay, where is Matt Black? Is it moving or just sort of chilling?
I think you would have seen that Matt Black was also moving, although not as fast as the Lost Crystal, and in the opposite direction.
So they're going northwest?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm thinking about geography here.
AAA headquarters, you guys were also headed southeast.
Okay, so AAA headquarters and Dr. Retval's lair are both southeast?
Yes, and you would know from when Mars showed you the map, like, it was convenient because HQ was basically on the way.
Okay.
Matt Black, it looks like, was heading back in the general direction of Fesliyan, although I think Finn would not be able to tell if that was like a we're going back or like a get the fuck away from the pirate ship.
All right, so I guess if I look up and if I see there are no more pirates in the water, then I want to swim back up towards Matt Black because I don't want them to leave without me.
Okay.
And as I'm swimming up, and I'm being very careful, if I see any other, like, attacks coming my way, I am diving straight back down.
Okay.
But I'm also sending out a broadcast, this time telling all the fish that can hear me that I need to know where the lost crystal is going. That I want them to follow it. If it gets beyond their sort of area, I want them to tell all their friends to follow it. I want where this ship is to be the only thing that anyone in the ocean is talking about. And I want to know constantly where it is and where it's going.
Cool.
Nice.
Make another persuasion check for me with advantage.
25.
Wow. Yeah, you hear all of these kind of like schools of fish that are around you. You hear a chorus of kind of like, aye, aye, and like, yes, okay. The tiger shark kind of like bumps you with its head and then like jets off in that direction. You see kind of like
I'll never forget him.
various other fish sort of like swim after the ship. And you kind of also get the sense of like communication between them as the sort of like ocean network is now focused on tracking the movements of the lost crystal.
Fly, my pretties, fly!
Cool. And you swim back up toward the surface. Give me another perception check.
13.
13. Okay. You do not see any other pirates in the water. It looks like the ones that were in the water did manage to either presumably got on the lost crystal as it was pulling away, as you don't really know what else would have happened to them. The lost crystal is, you can probably at the point when you're kind of surfacing still see it, but it is definitely moving away from you. Matt Black is also moving away from you, but not as fast. The lost crystal is just an abnormally fast ship for one, and also it looks like as the lost crystal is pulling away, like Matt Black is kind of stopping its movement, as if it's not quite sure what to do.
All right. Where are Nurgle and the Slod? What are they doing?
The Slod, yeah.
He's
Frankly,
just back floating.
so I guess, what was the last thing you told Nurgle?
Actually, the last thing I told Nurgle and the Slod was to help Nira escape.
Yeah,
Nurgle and the Slod sounds like a folk band or something.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
okay, I'm gonna make a couple rolls here.
not one to which I would listen.
We can't have 2 Nurgle deaths in 3 episodes. That's unacceptable.
The people will riot.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you felt your connection with the Nurgle sever. As Nira is not, like, floating in the ocean anywhere, which was pretty much the only place she could have gone if she'd managed to get away. So
And what about the Slod?
the Slod, I think, is just floating here. It was not fast enough to keep up with Matt Black,
Man.
and it doesn't have, like, enough of a swimming speed to just live underwater. So it is just kind of like treading water.
Hey. Sorry about how that all went. Yeah, you said it. Can I get on Matt Black?
Yeah, you swim over to Matt Black. Are you bringing the Slod with you?
Yeah, I'll swim over and grab him so I can help him get back
What's he
faster.
gonna do? Leave him to die out there?
Cool. You and the Slod swim over to Matt Black.
needs a
The
party?
sign around his neck is now extremely waterlogged.
Oh no, the message is washing off. Now people won't know who he works for.
But you swim over to Matt Black. Do you like call up to them or say
Yeah.
anything?
I shout up, yo-ho! I'm still alive!
Oh, great.
You see Shala stick her head over the side of the ship and be like, Finn, what happened? Are the others okay? What the hell happened?
You're not gonna like this.
Are they dead?
No, but Retval has them.
Jesus Christ. Well, she can't say Jesus Christ. She doesn't exist in this world.
They know
Oh, a fellow
something.
Catholic!
She grabs the rope from the ship and, like, throws it down to you. And you pull yourself up.
I am absolutely straining with my -1 strength to haul up with me.
Can't he hold on to it himself?
Yeah, I think he has.
Oh, yeah, good point.
better
He's
strength
strong.
than you, probably.
Yeah, actually, I get, like, I sit on his shoulders while he hauls us both up the side of the ship.
Shala's the one straining.
You and the Slod, managed to pull
No one
yourselves.
will use his name. That's very rude.
Andy, I can't make that noise. On the mud bath, you can coach me how to do it. Pulls the two of you up onto the ship. Mar is at the wheel, and she kind of, at this point, is standing next to the wheel with, like, one hand on it. As Shala kind of, like, looks at you and takes in the, like, injuries, and kind of, like, holds out her hands and is like, What happened? Who was that?
Okay, it's a long story. That was, you know how you found Malachi and he had a life before you?
Yes.
That was his sister, who I thought was a friend. I thought they were allies, but we got on the ship and the whole thing was a trap. It was all a setup. They were working for Retval. He was on the ship too, and he put Malachi and Regin to sleep. I barely got out of there, and they're going. I assume they're going to his lab with his prison or whatever, where he does fucked up stuff, and they're going fast.
Fuck. Well, okay. So, I'm glad you got away, at least. Shala kind of, like...
Yeah, me too.
Pats you on the shoulder. And you see Mar kind of, like, comes closer and is, like, giving you this look of concern, clearly, like, sizing up whether you're, like, okay.
Not physically.
Yeah.
And honestly, emotionally, rough.
Mar sort of, like, puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, okay, you have allies, the three of you?
Yeah,
We were going somewhere.
we were, and it's actually happens to be pretty conveniently on the way if we're chasing down the Lost Crystal, which is the name of that ship that just sailed away. So I say we maintain our course.
Okay, yes, let's do that. She, like, looks over at your Slod friend, and sort of, like...
Oh, you haven't been introduced.
He should be fired. He did a terrible job.
Shala, Mar, this is... This is Shala and Mar.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Don't worry, he's only going to exist for another 45 minutes.
Okay. Mar, like, goes back to the wheel and sort of, like, she is not a sailor per se, but she's been on the ocean enough.
Oh, don't worry, it's self-steering.
Yeah, exactly, to know how to, like, set Matt Black to do what he needs to do, to sort of steer himself. And Finn, you're able to, like, direct the course. And you guys set sail for HQ.
So how do you guys feel about having burlap sacks over your head?
Negative.
I figured. Mm-hmm. What about just put your hands over your eyes for like a day?
They sort of exchange a glance, and Shala's like, I would put my hands over my eyes for 10 minutes when we're about to get there.
I'll take it.
Great. You set off. There is enough time before you get to HQ for you to, first off, resummon Nurgle, if you'd like to do that.
Absolutely.
And then additionally, there's enough time for you to long rest, Finn. If you, like, you guys were kind of, like, halfway there, so if you sort of conk out, you will be able to be back at full strength when you arrive at HQ.
All right, I do. But before I go lay down, I talk to Shaw and Mon. I'm like, okay, listen, remember how before I asked whose side you were on and you very pointedly did not respond?
I remember that, yes.
You gonna fuck me on this or no?
They're taken enough aback by that Shala, like, laughs a little, and then...
I am not blinking.
Yeah, Mar's like, that's my son. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that he's safe.
Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for.
Cool. You can make an insight check if you
Night.
want, or you can not.
Oh, yeah, I do. 14.
14. They seem pretty straightforward. Definitely, they seem very concerned. And Mar, like, has also gone into mom mode over you a little bit and, like, make sure that you, like, eat something before you go to sleep. But they seem very, like, distressed and ready to do whatever it takes to make sure that they get Malachi back.
All right, good.
Fuck Reagan, though, am I right?
I mean, if I was them.
Nurgle, keep watch. Oh, and then I turn to, ooh, and I say, when I wake up, you'll be gone. But it's been real, pal. Maybe I'll summon you again someday.
Cool. Finn, long rests. The Slod vanishes. The ship makes its way to AAA HQ. You arrive, like, the next day. When you arrive at the island, the first thing you notice is that there are a few additional ships kind of parked around it. I don't know how good Finn is at identifying ships by sight, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you.
Oh my god, it's the Titanic! It sank in the Atlantic and came out in the Lunluma.
Oh my god.
For a second, there's a split second of panic from seeing ships that you didn't expect. But then you recognize that one of the ships is the Salty Shark, which is Captain Amelia's ship.
Oh, I'm not falling for this again.
Moored at the HQ island. And there are also kind of like a couple of other ships of similar like size and, I don't know, notoriety or like how nice they are.
Power level.
Yeah, power level.
CR.
Exactly. Matt Black arrives at the dock. You do not see any signs of like fighting or conflict or anything like that as you arrive. You sort of hop out of Matt Black as you do. Are you going to bring Mar and Shala with you onto the island?
Yeah.
Okay.
I turn to them and I'm like, all right, uncover your eyes.
They do so. You get the sense that Shala was probably peeking through her fingers, but
I won't forget that.
they sort of like look around and Shala goes, who are these people?
Let's just say, they're friends who you may have heard some unflattering things about, and I assure you, some of it is not true.
Mar is like looking at the like, trying to think where AAA would have their symbol. Like probably there's a flag flying at the house. And she kind of like...
I also put on my jacket as we're walking.
Great. She looks at the symbol on your jacket and kind of like squints a little bit, but just in a sort of like, oh, okay, this is what this is sort of way.
I also cast mage armor just in case as we're disembarking.
Always good to do.
I want your mage armor to just like appear like a spectral version of your jacket on top of the jacket.
There are more people on the island than you have seen on the island before. Quite a few people that you kind of don't recognize. It's sort of been like almost deserted every other time you guys have been here. But now there are still not a huge number of people, but like other people that you, that look like the kind of adventuring types and the sailor types around the island and then at the house as you're walking up to the house. Shiloh kind of like runs into you in the hall as you kind of enter the house and it's like, Finn, oh, and she sort of like catches the expression on your face and her expression gets serious. What happened? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so Retval has them is the short of it, but I know where they're going.
Okay, let's go talk to the adventurer now.
Yeah, that's where I was headed.
Yep, great. She sort of like brings you with her to the adventurer's like study. Shala and Mar kind of like trail behind you, sort of like looking around themselves. Shala is very interested in Rosie. She sort of is like looking and she actually says to Shiloh, she's like, "Do you make this dog?" And Shiloh looks over her shoulder and is like, "Yeah, I did." And Shala nods and gives her this kind of like respectful, like, okay.
Wow, Rosie and Prowl can be besties now.
Oh, these are Malachi's moms, by the way.
You make it to the adventurer's study. There is more kind of activity around as she's sitting at her table and has like several like pieces of paper and stuff like that spread out in front of her. She's talking to a couple other people, including, you see, Captain Amelia is here, who, for anyone who may not remember, it's been like 20 episodes or something, is a Warforged, merchant captain, who has ties with AAA, but left the organization officially when Nira did, a few years ago. Amelia kind of like nods to you, Finn, as you come in, and the adventurer looks up and at first has this kind of like smile of greeting and then sort of, again, sees your expression and the smile drops into a frown, and she's like, this looks like bad news.
Yeah. Mostly bad news, a little bit of good news. Bad news, Amelia, your mom screwed us over.
What?
Retval has Regin and Malachi. Good news, I got the moms, and we know where Retval's keeping all his prisoners.
Okay. The adventurer, like, rubs her temples, and...
Wait, who's Amelia's mom?
Nira, because she repaired her.
Yeah. Amelia, like, shakes her head and is like, my mom?
Okay, I guess that's probably not the tenor of your relationship, but it was a good line in my head. I'm talking about Nira.
Nira?
She's gone rogue.
Well,
I guess even more rogue than she had already gone.
The adventurer's like, she went rogue a while ago. But
Roger.
She turned you over to Retval?
Yeah.
All right. Sit down. Tell me everything. The adventurer, like, dismisses everybody else from the room except for you, Shiloh, Shala, and Mar. And has you kind of, like, sit down, and we don't need to go through all of this.
I tell her everything that happened, and I spend a weird amount of time describing the glance I shared with Vance.
Cool. You kind of tell her everything that happened. Mar pulls out the sort of like documents that she had, her copies of the letter she saw, and like shows them to the adventurer. And the adventurer like pores over all of it and kind of like makes a few markings on her map. And then she sort of like sits back and like rubs her chin in thought and is just like, for just a few seconds, the room is just kind of silent as she's looking down at everything on the table in front of her.
All right, so give me some guys and let's go.
Yes, I'm not just going to give you some guys.
Where's Ben?
We're going to take most people on this island and go.
Oh boy.
This is the kind of chance we've been waiting for. We were looking for the location of something like this, and from the sounds of it, the weapons that he's making, those can't be allowed to reach the front. Besides, our location here may not be able to be the stronghold that it once was, based on Lithios has evidently been moving, and the explosion in the square appears to have done its job, as they are gathering a force to try and seek us out. We don't believe they have this location yet, so it should be safe for a little while longer, but we need to...
I glare at Shala and Mar.
It is time for us to make a big play, and this sort of big play is exactly what we need. So we will leave behind non-combatants. She like gestures to Shala and Mar. We will leave behind non-combatants. We will take everybody who can, and we will get to that laboratory. She sort of like, with one kind of like sudden motion, gathers together everything that was on the table in front of her and like stands very decisively, and looks at you, Finn, and she's like, thank you for getting this information to me.
You're welcome.
And then she kind of like goes to sweep out of the room and move to take action.
Wow, I thought I was going to have to convince her or something. That went great. I don't know why Malachi is always having trouble convincing her.
I'm like a little offended she's not worried about us, and this is like just an opportunity for their attack, but whatever.
You know what she's like.
I expected nothing more. It's gotta be how it is.
Andy, do you have anything you kind of want to do at HQ before everybody kind of leaves?
Yeah. Most of what I want is Shiloh-centric.
Okay, yes.
I want to give her the ring that makes you die and say, hey, so I think this is a ring that makes you die when you wear it, but I thought I'd have you check it out, just sort of confirm that.
Yeah, she casts Identify on it and goes, oh, yeah, this is a ring that makes you die. Yeah, it's called...
Fantastic.
It's called a Band of Loyalty.
Huh.
If you drop to 0 hit points while attuned to it, you just die.
All right. Well, I will not be attuning to it, but thank you.
Yeah, I recommend no one attune to it.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Could make a good gift.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I just put it back in my pocket.
Cool. You take that with you.
And then I just want to say, all right, and before we leave, got anything cool? And I don't know if they're gonna like take away all of Malachi. I mean, I would guess they probably are going to take away all of Malachi and Regin's weapons too. So. Be good to have some replacements for them.
Shiloh says, yeah, I was hoping to have stuff for all 3 of you, but I guess I'm just going to give you all of these.
Oh, baby, I'm going to be decked out.
She pulls out a kind of similar to what she'd given you the espresso shots in, another like little container that has 3 different potions in it. And she goes, I'm not really an alchemist by trade, but I've kind of picked up some things and gotten people to help me and stuff like that, and this was all stuff that I thought would come in handy. She taps the first one, and she's like, this is a potion of Clairvoyance. It's like a yellowish liquid with, as you look at it, there's an eyeball bobbing in it.
Oh, piss?
And she goes, this is essentially one casting of a spell called Clairvoyance. Very useful for stuff like what we're about to do just now. Lets you kind of like basically see something that's a mile away from you. Although I imagine Retvol's probably going to have defenses against shit like that based on our inability to send to anyone who's inside, but might come in useful anyway, or come in useful at other times. This one is a potion of heroism. She taps the middle one. She's like, this gives you some, just kind of helps you in battle, helps make you a little bit more able to, fight things. This is a hard one to explain out of character. Basically, you, for an hour, you gain 10 temporary hit points, and then you also are under the effect of the Bless spell for that entire hour.
Wow.
And then she kind of, like, taps the next one, and she says, and this one is a potion of giant strength, of frost giant strength, to be specific. It is, like, transparent liquid with what looks like a piece of giant fingernail floating in it, which is gross. But what it does is when you drink it...
I'll let Regin drink that one.
When you drink it, it makes your strength 23 for an hour.
No, give me that one.
So wait, you're saying that you want to drink the eyeball piss potion? I would rather take fingernail than eyeball piss.
The heroism potion is the color of, like, blue Gatorade and is, like, bubbling and sparkling slightly. That one looks appetizing. The other two do look gross as hell.
Ooh, it's blue, just like water.
But Shiloh kind of, like, hands you this and is like, so, keep it, hold on to it, or, you can just use all 3 of them. I wonder what would happen if you drank all 3 of them at the same time. You'd have a really exciting hour.
Give me a second.
No.
Let's see.
Cool. And do you have anything else, any other kind of preparations you want to make?
Yeah, I want to go say bye to Baleen. Or I guess hello and then goodbye right away.
Yeah, she's been hanging out. Everyone is sort of like rushing around kind of in the wake of this. The adventurer like makes an announcement, and everybody's sort of like rushing around getting ready. Baleen has picked up what's going on and is extremely concerned for you, but is also very concerned for Malachi and Regin. She's definitely very worried for them. And
thank you.
Just tells you like,
don't worry.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got me, so I guess you're getting really good at rescue missions.
And I command untold eldritch power.
Sure, yeah, there is that. She gives you a big hug and it's like, be careful.
I will, and you be careful too. Here, I'm a little nervous about the people we're leaving behind because we're sort of leaving the whole place undefended. Doesn't seem like a great strategy.
Yeah. Do you want to, I don't suppose you'd ever leave me your ship.
Like in my will?
No, like...
I guess we're close enough. That would be a fair dispensation.
Because not like when you leave with everybody else who's going to your ship shrinks tiny. You could just leave it with me.
Oh, I getcha.
And then if something did happen, I'd have somewhere to go.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, great. Okay.
I do want to take a moment to... I activate Detect Magic and look very closely at Baleen just to make sure this isn't some sort of, imposter trying to steal my ship.
It does not look like an imposter. You can make an insight check as well. You definitely don't see any magic.
12.
12. Seems like Baleen, she seems nervous, especially when you kind of bring up, I'm a little bit worried about you. She kind of seems like she's also worried, and this is her sort of she doesn't want to be stuck without an exit strategy.
All right. Yeah. Wait, before I hand this over, Baleen, what street did I live on in Gillsbury?
Do we have street names in Gillsbury?
No, we don't. That's the right answer.
Okay, good. For a second there, I was really worried that I'd, forgotten something or that, I don't know, that they'd named them. I don't know. Great. She takes Matte Black.
Yeah, I give her Matte Black, and I explain how it works.
Great. You explain how Matte Black works, she takes it and keeps it.
Baleen, don't, give that to anyone else. I'm gonna need that back.
No, yes, for sure. I am going to guard this with my life. And, yeah. You...
Well... Okay, if it does come down to you or the ship, you don't guard it all the way with your life.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Guard it, mostly with my life. Got it, okay. She gives you another big hug, and yeah. The Archaeological Artificers Association and the Adventurer, for the first time in who knows how long, leave HQ in this sort of, small fleet of probably 4 ships of kind of the fastest and fastest and smallest ones available that can still kind of hold everyone who needs to go and start off in the direction of Dr. Retfall's lab.
Wow. I'm achieving all of my objectives.
We are going to cut to a different location, and we are also going to jump forward in time.
Actually, hold on.
A couple days. Yes?
As we're setting out, I also wanna talk to the fish and just get an update and confirm that the ship is going where we think it's going.
Yes, the kind of network of fish, you go down to the beach and you grab the nearest fish, and it takes a little while for the information to sort of be passed between the marine creatures. But after a while, that fish returns and is yep, heading directly those coordinates. He tells you a bunch of fish landmarks that you kind of don't necessarily recognize, but are able to sort of match with oh, okay, that's that island, and chart that they do indeed seem to be plotting a direct course for Retfall's lab, and will probably get there a bit before you all arrive, although not that far ahead of when your fleet will get there.
All right, thanks. Keep up the good work, everyone.
Cool. We are going to go ahead and skip forward in time and skip to a different location. You are not entirely sure how far forward, how many days it's been, because Regin and Malachi, both of you have been unconscious for most of it. You only know that time is passing, because there have been brief moments of kind of half coming to consciousness, interspersed with dreams of, for Regin in particular, who we're starting with here, dreams of lightning, dreams of dragons, dreams of Dr. Retfall. Just generally an unpleasant experience.
Am I hard?
So you're aware that some time has passed. Not the tone I'm trying to set here.
We've been misinterpreting this relationship the whole time.
But you are kind of conscious that some time has passed as you're finally kind of coming all the way to consciousness. You become aware of a few things. For one thing, you are slumped against a wall. Your back is against this wall. Your head was kind of like leaned over and you sort of like sit up. Your hands are bound in front of you. You do not have any of your like stuff. You basically just have your clothes, but no hammer. You don't have your necklace with your arcane focus. You don't have like anything else that you were carrying on your person is gone.
Shirt?
You do have a shirt. So sorry to have to tell you.
They had to put one on him because he was shirtless before.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He ripped it off in the dream.
They put a shirt on you. You wake up feeling this prevailing sense of emptiness that it takes you kind of a minute to identify as the absence of magic, like what you'd felt in the anti-magic field on the ship. That feeling is still present. You cannot feel the magic that has always been kind of present coursing through your veins. As you sort of like sit up and your vision becomes clear, you are in a relatively small room, maybe like 10 feet on each side. It does not look like a like dungeon cell. It is not like stone, although it is pretty dim, but it is more just kind of like a room. White walls, white floor, very kind of like sterile looking, but like just dimly lit rather than like bright white. There is a door with kind of like a window in it, and there are bars over the window. And the other thing you notice is that you are not alone. As you come to consciousness, you hear a voice go, "Morning, sunshine." You look over to see Alden is sitting against the wall kind of next to you. He looks rough. His cheeks are hollow. There's deep bags under his eyes. He looks exhausted. He's shirtless. And his, like...
Reagan's wearing his shirt.
His arms, like yours, his hands are bound in front of him. His torso, he's got cuts, bruises, what you recognize as lightning burns in a few places. Just generally looks rough, but is like smiling, this kind of like half smile as you sort of wake up. He kind of looks over at you and he's like, "I'd say good to see you, but really not good to see you at all."
Yeah, here to rescue you.
Wow.
Ta-da!
Good job. Yeah. What happened? Where's anyone else?
Fuck. He has Malachi. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
I don't actually know that Finn got away.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he has them. The Nira sold us out.
Oh.
That bitch. See, this time I stand by calling her a bitch, Malachi. Remember when I said I took it back like 14 episodes ago? I mean it this time.
Malachi somewhere down the hall thinks, yeah.
Fuck. Oh, Jesus. How long's it been?
3 weeks? Since when Nell and I got captured. You've been in this cell for a few hours unconscious, so... Reagan, you would be able to kind of, like, think it through and know that if Alden's been in here for 3 weeks, that means that you've been unconscious for about a week. Give or take a couple days.
Yeah, it's been about... alright. Not my best week. Okay. What's the, what have you figured out so far? What do we got?
Well, we have, like, 3 We're in a basement. Step
one.
We're in a basement. There's anti-magic over this basement, but not upstairs. Upstairs, there's at least 4 floors upstairs. Might be another one above the 4th floor. The highest up I've been is the 3rd floor, though I don't know if I could tell there was more stairs that went up. Something here is, I don't know. Nell is, I haven't seen Nell in a few days at this point, and they've kept us apart anyway, but I've seen them from time to time. They're definitely using me as leverage against them. I know that. I don't have a way out of this cell. I imagine you don't either, especially without, magic.
Hey, I'm full of surprises.
Oh, okay. That's really good to know.
Hannah.
Yes.
If I have an ability that lets me cast a spell without using a spell slot...
It is still casting a spell.
But it's a gift that...
Oh.
That was magically grafted onto me. It's external from me.
I think no.
Damn.
I think the reaction that the gift of the metallic dragon gives you would still have access to, but the spell.
Okay.
No.
Okay. It was worth a try. And I'm not, attached to the wall or anything.
No.
They just kind of parked me in a corner.
They just sort of threw you against the wall, it looks like.
Nice. All right. Okay. Room is 10 by 10. 1 entrance, 1 exit.
Yep. No windows. Other than the one in the door.
Air vents?
Nope. Looks like the only ventilation is coming in through that barred window.
Well, this is a goddamn bitch of an unsatisfactory situation. Is what this is.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Does anybody know you're here?
Malachi's mom's maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they good at breaking people out of secure experimentation facilities?
See, part of me wants to say yes, because one of them's a blacksmith and the other one's a decorated combat veteran, so I feel like they could.
Sure.
But they're also moms. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Right.
they're MILFs, but they're moms, so...
I mean, but
Also, they're seems to be a whole lot of stuff going on with Malachi and his political dissidents, so I'm not hundo P on where we're all standing with that.
Sure.
But they know where this is. That's probably big. They know where this is.
If they can get to... Fuck. Hey, did you get a chance to talk to Shiloh? Oh, and also, that girl from Finn's village. What happened? Did you guys manage to...
Oh yeah, that all
they
worked
don't know
out.
anything.
He's been in here a while.
Yeah, you've missed a few things, bruv. Yeah, so this is a bit of a fucking cluster. Oh, did you know, what's their fucking names? Can't believe we're just shooting this shit down here like we're on a coffee date. We're in fucking jail again. Sidebar, I'm coping.
I'm appreciating having someone to talk to, personally.
Yeah, I didn't get a roommate last time either, so... No, did you ever work with Ocarina?
Nope, that's Zelda.
Oriana.
Oriana?
Yeah, Oriana and Squarian and
Cleo, yeah.
yeah, and Bob.
Bob? Who's Bob?
Bill, Ben?
Ben?
Yeah!
Did Regin get hit on the head?
That's the bitch.
Probably.
Yes, several times.
Whoa. Ben? He's dead.
Yeah, no, he's not. He was apparently deep cover and cover blown and something. So he's alive. It was awkward.
We were really sure he was dead.
Oh, because he killed him?
No.
I just like to check.
Traitor Alden theory.
Huh. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad he's not dead. And so were Quarion, Cleo, Oriana, did they come back to HQ?
Yeah, so turns out they were also about to be executed, allegedly. So we wrecked that whole thing, we escaped with everybody, but then something exploded in the middle of this gathering square. We're pretty sure it was to like make it look like you were terrorists or something.
Sure.
Like as if AAA had planted it, but we are not sure whose inside job it was. A lot of questions still there, but yeah, no, they're all back. We got it done, and we went to go visit Mal's mom's. Got to see Malachi's childhood bedroom.
How was that?
Really normal.
I don't know what I was expecting.
Right, I was hoping for something like revelatory.
Yeah,
he hasn't opened up much since you saw him last.
I'm offended.
I wouldn't have expected that either.
Yeah, but no, very normal. I looked for crusty socks and everything. Nothing.
Wow.
But then there was a whole assassination attempt again. I'm sick and tired of getting stabbed, man.
It gets old after a while.
I'm getting tired of this. And then we were heading back to HQ, and then we ran into Nira, and
she sold you out.
Yep, now I'm here.
Okay, well, I am glad you managed to get Finn's friend, and nothing else has happened in Gillsbury as far as you know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. And, did you got a chance to talk to Shiloh, that thing Nell yelled to you guys when we were getting captured, did she know what was up with that?
No dice, no joy. She recognized it, but nothing came of it. What was it?
I don't know. I've heard that story, but I don't know what the hell they were trying to communicate. It's not like I've had a chance to ask.
Well, tell me the story. Tell me the story. I got time to kill.
Okay. Yeah, he, starts to describe to you the same story that Shiloh had told you, which is basically that when Shiloh and Nell kind of first started working for AAA, one of the first missions they got sent on was to break into this, nobleman's house, and they were looking for some particular documents, and kind of immediately upon breaking in, they, stepped on the third step of the stairs and heard it make a creak like it was hollow, but both of them dismissed it as kind of that doesn't mean anything. Continued searching the entire house, wasted a lot of time, and very nearly got themselves caught and blew the whole thing. And what they'd been looking for had been right under the third step the whole time. And so had become a code between the two of them to mean what's the thing you're overlooking.
Okay, I had no recollection of that story. Thank you for retelling it.
So Alden kind of goes through that, and he's like, I wasn't there for that. I was still kind of learning how to be a fighter without magic at that point. But I've heard them say that to each other over the years, and I don't know what Nell was trying to communicate. The two of us, we snuck onto that ship because we weren't actually trying to rescue Finn's friend at first. We were looking for any intel that we could find while Retfall was distracted. We thought there might be the location of this exact place where we are right now was what we were looking for. We hoped it would be somewhere in his office or his cabin. So we snuck in, we were looking through some of the paperwork, and then we hadn't really found anything especially notable, or I didn't think we had. And then we heard yelling from on deck, realized what was going on, and tried to intervene and get Finn's friend out, which went poorly. But I don't know.
Sidebar.
Yeah?
When you've been up on these upper floors of this place, are there windows?
A couple of them, yeah. There's a main staircase, and there's windows off the main staircase.
Okay, so it's not totally underground.
Yes, it's not totally underground. This floor is underground, and then I'm pretty sure the next floor up is already above ground. Just from, like, sometimes you can kind of tell.
I was gonna say, would it be, like, fucked up if this actually was, like, located in Nell's childhood home or something?
Wow. That would be fucked up.
And that was, like, the thing.
Yeah. Alden kind of, like, finishes what he's saying and looks over at you and is like, you alright?
It's a little early in the game to call that. Feels weird. It's like when you can't find a word, except it's all of you. I don't need to explain it to you.
Yeah. He, like, moves over a little bit, so he's, like, next to you, and kind of falls silent. We are going to cut to a different room.
Alden and I touch tips.
Don't touch tips with that man.
This is Hannah's fade to black.
Malachi. You also wake up. You are in a very similar situation to what I just described Regin in. Same kind of, like, you are in a small room. It is white. It is windowless. There is a single door with a window with bars on it. You have your hands chained in front of you.
What was I dreaming about?
You were dreaming about war, and also fog. And also about a cave and a waterfall, and also about, your moms, and about Nira, a lot of kind of images back and forth of conflicting memories and dreams and moments that might have been consciousness, and all of it with this kind of, like, persistent fog laid over your vision, like you are in the middle of a sea of it.
Is Malachi wearing a shirt?
Malachi is wearing a shirt as the fog finally clears and you come to consciousness. You are wearing a shirt. You are not wearing your armor.
Yeah.
You don't have your armor. You don't have your weapons. You don't have your rock.
Fuck!
And you don't have your jar of dirt.
Hey, how's
Yes.
You pitching a tent or no?
Yeah, he's got a fear boner.
Oh my god. Absolutely not.
How bad is this?
I've never had a boner.
Don't have any of the stuff you had. You also can't feel your magic. Which is not as kind of jarring for you as it is for Regin, as your magic is newer, but it's still, you've gotten used to it being there.
Yeah.
And it sure is not, and neither are any of the things that you've gotten used to being with you. Similarly to Regin, as you come to consciousness, you realize that you are not alone, as sitting near you...
I've had that axe since my mommy made it for me.
Sitting near you with her hands chained in front of her is Nira. She...
Well.
She sort of, like, looks up at you as you kind of come to consciousness. She looks, she does not have her, like, red captain's coat or her hat or her weapons or anything.
Does she have her arm?
She does.
She
She still has her prosthetic arm. She looks like there's, like, a couple, like, bruises and cuts on her face that you can see, but looks more like she's, like, taken a few hits rather than, like, what Alden looks like. She sort of raises an eyebrow at you as you come to consciousness, and sort of cautiously goes, "Hi."
I guess I can stand up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I stand up and I walk over the window.
You stand up, you walk over to the window. You can look out the window. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Fuck me. Yeah, no, that's a 3.
A 3. Okay. It is hard to tell anything. So the like light in the cells is only sort of filtering in from like torches that are out in the kind of like hallway that you're looking out into. What you can see is that there's another door across from you, and I think if you kind of like crane your neck to the left, you can see that there are 2 more doors, and then kind of standing at the edge of this hallway, or like at the end of this hallway, you can see the kind of like shadowy backs of 2 figures. Like there are 2 people standing out there, but you can't tell, with a 3, you can't tell anything more about them other than that there's 2 of them and they're there.
Okay.
As you're kind of like looking out the window, Nira like calls, she's like, there's a couple of guards at the end of the hallway. There are 3 other rooms. I don't know if people are in them, because if you try and call out, the sound gets weirdly muffled, although whatever that effect is, it's not magic, because there's no magic down here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll forgive me for having to check for myself.
Sure, yeah.
How long have we been in here?
Well, 6 hours-ish?
That's it?
Yeah, we were on a ship before that.
All right. How long since you sold us out and we got captured?
6 days.
Have you seen Regin and Finn? Did they knock you out too, or were you just sitting there the whole time? Doing nothing?
I was unconscious for some of it, and conscious more than you were. Regin is presumably here somewhere. Finn actually jumped into the ocean and swam away.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised too. The kid, the kid tanked a spell from that fucking doctor, and then jumped into the ocean, and there was a scream from below the depths, and then Dr. Retfall got really pale and was like, get this ship out of here, and then we ran for it.
Yeah, no.
So...
That sounds like Finn.
So he's presumably fine.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
And I hope that means maybe there's backup coming. Yeah, I know, no thanks to me. You don't have to keep rubbing it in, obviously.
I'm sorry, what else am I supposed to do with the information that my sister sold us out to the fucking...
I didn't have much of a choice.
What did he have on you?
I'm a pirate.
So money?
He showed up and threatened me and all of my crew with the might of Lithios. Those are people who joined my crew to protect me, but they still can hang pirates. They don't do it very often because it's mostly profitable to them to have us out there.
My worldview is rapidly changing.
Because it's very, it's still profitable to Lithios to have pirates out there, and so they mostly just kind of let us do our own thing. But it's there in the law books if they need it.
How did he find you?
I don't know.
You didn't...
And I have safeguards on my ship, and I don't know if he got to one of my crew.
How did he even know that you would know...
I mean, if he's been watching you.
Did he just come to you randomly as a pirate, or did he know that you knew us?
No, he knew that I knew you. Which, to be fair, we did both keep using the name Kassir, but as has been established, it's kind of not that uncommon of a name, although he's a pretty smart guy.
That wouldn't mean you know where I was.
Yeah.
Well, how did you find us?
Oh, I didn't know where you were. He did. He just wanted me to get it so you guys didn't run.
I did not sign a release form to be scryed upon.
We have anti-scrying necklaces, so he couldn't have scryed on us.
Oh,
right?
Yeah! I really didn't sign a release form.
Since you got them.
Right, since we got them. But that was before Fesliyan, so...
Yep, and you decided to go to Fesliyan on the very shielded island.
So, yeah. And you really just thought that you would make a deal with him.
Yes. Maybe that part was... Stupid, but... Okay. I didn't know what he'd want with you. I thought he was interested in sorcerers. That's what I'd heard. And then whatever the hell Finn's got going on.
Wow.
I know we only just found each other again recently, but you should know by now that any deal where you're selling out my friends in exchange for me?
I
don't know what you thought was going to happen when we sailed off.
Well, I would have let you take your ship and go off and try and rescue them and never see me again was what I assumed, but at least you'd have been fine.
Well,
so
that worked out. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. She looks like fine, right?
Yeah.
I pointed her face. That's because you tried to renegotiate?
At various points, yes. I tried several different types of deals. No one was interested in any of them, shockingly.
Yeah, it seems like money isn't really a thing for them.
Yeah. Listen. You don't have to... Obviously, you're not going to trust me. You don't have to like me, whatever. But, can you work with me enough to get us out of here?
I understand you were put in a tough spot. But I mean, yeah, we need to find Regin.
Great.
And Nell and Alden if they're here too. But I mean,
I haven't seen them, but
fuck.
Are you still standing by the door?
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of holds up her hands and she's like, "Come over here."
Yeah. Okay, I do it.
She goes, "I can do this myself, otherwise it'd be useless, but it's gonna not risk me spraining my wrist if you just do it." She holds out her hands to you and kind of moves up the ring finger of her prosthetic hand, and indicates to you, and you can see that there is a small lash on one side of the finger, and she goes, "Push down on that, and then you kind of twist the hand and pull it off."
Oh.
No, trust me, I know, but it's mostly, it's a combination of mechanics and magic that's holding it together, and the magic parts are not currently working. I mean, you can kind of see that it does seem like the use of her hand, it's pretty much just, it's not able to move like a normal hand right now. It is just sort of there. But she's like, but the mechanical parts should be unaffected if you just, pull it off.
I point back to the door. Can those guards hear us, or can we just not hear other prisoners?
I don't think they can hear us.
I go over to the window and I shout, "Hey!"
You shout,
"Unlock this door, you fucking cowards!"
You see them kind of one of them looks over his shoulder and kind of smirks a little bit, and then sort of turns away. And Nira's it seems like it's just muffled, but if we're quiet...
Yeah, no, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I think they don't care. They don't think much of anything in here.
Yeah, they seem to not.
All right, I pop her hand up. I guess.
Yeah. She kind of guides you through it, and as the hand kind of pulls off, you see that her forearm, it has this kind of all these different mechanisms and machinery in it, and she kind of sticks her right hand in there and pulls out, you see a kind of small set of lockpicks, and then she also pulls out a razor blade.
So true, Queen.
And kind of
this is no time to shave.
Reattaches her hand, and takes this very small knife in her hand, and she's like, "Okay, so, I'm going to unpick your cuffs and then mine, and then we're going to figure out the door."
Okay, they haven't come in here at all since they dropped us here 6 hours ago, right?
I don't know what is going on, but...
Do you know what time of day it is?
Well, we got here... It was full day, but before noon when we got here, so it's probably late afternoon.
And he didn't do anything while we were on the ship, right? He just kept us knocked out?
Yeah, I barely saw him. Oh, also, my crew left. We actually switched ships, yesterday. Met up with a different ship, transferred everybody over, lost Crystal, booked it out of their fucking Vance with my fucking ship after everything I did for them.
Don't worry, Finn will find him and kill him. He has a ring.
Good. I would support it.
Don't tell her about the ring.
That's all I said. Hold on, I'm checking. Hannah, what's my AC now?
Oh, it will be 10 plus your dexterity modifier.
Fuck, Hannah! What?
Sorry!
No way! That's a 9 if that's the case. Can I have nothing out of being a rock man?
Malachi's metal skin somehow magnetizes and attracts blades towards him.
I'm naked! Malachi looks down and starts yelling, I'm naked! He's got clothes on, but...
Yeah, without armor or shield, your character's AC equals 10
Hannah,
plus his dexterity
Hannah,
modifier.
can we work something out here? My skin is like iron. I feel like that gives me something.
Yeah, you'd think that.
I guess if they just jab it in the cracks,
Exactly.
they can get right to the core.
Those cracks are a surprising vulnerability.
Yeah, they're just out there now.
Yeah.
Exposed through my shirt.
Okay, so Nira starts to kind of try and pick the lock on your handcuffs. Okay. It takes her like a little bit. You see she's having trouble essentially only working with one hand.
You want me to put your
she can
hand
really
back
only use
on?
her other hand to like... No, you put the hand back on, and she sort of like helps click it back into place. It just doesn't work with the anti-magic. But after a while, she's able to kind of like pop them off, and then makes you kind of like help her as she works on her own. Okay. Better roll, but higher DC because she's at an awkward angle, so that also takes a little while. But no one is kind of like, the guards are not watching you guys, so you essentially have enough time to try until you're able to get it right. And she's being very careful because she doesn't want to break her lockpicks. As you both manage to get out of your chains, she sort of like stands up and like rolls her wrists. And she's like, okay, so I'm pretty sure I can get my arm between those bars. That's going to attract the guards' attention probably. So we need to be ready to do something. And I'm just going to try to be as quiet as I can. And once it attracts attention, how hard can you punch?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Does my pass without trace ability count as magic since it's a racial trait?
I think technically it is supposed to, but unlike you guys' dragon gifts, which are an external source.
This is just like being a rock guy.
Yeah, I will let you still use that one trait. You just kind of are like adept enough at like knowing how to move stealthily that you're able to extend that to Nira as well.
She's just hiding behind you.
Yeah.
I guess I can like stand and like direct her arm so she doesn't like hit anything as she's sticking it out.
Yeah, I would let you give the... So you're doing pass without trace. She's going to make a stealth roll, and then she's going to make a thieves' tools check.
Okay.
The stealth roll has a +10 from pass without trace, and I will let you give
This
the
is
help
such
action.
bullshit that I'm able to use it, but I'm so glad.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be able to, but I'm going to let you. And I will let you give the help action on the thieves' tools check. Essentially to be quiet enough and then to do it quick enough to not attract the guard's attention. So stealth check first. She has a +6 to her stealth. Oh, beautiful. Incredibly stealthy.
Nice.
That is a total of, with pass without trace, 31.
Oh, yeah.
So she is kind of like just very silently sticking her arm out here and keeping it like right pressed up against the wall, so you'd have to be like looking in order to be able to see her. Thieves' tools check. She also has a +6 to this because they're both dexterity
Quick
based.
question before she continues doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else in the room?
You can make an investigation check.
I'm just looking for something I could use as an improvised weapon.
Sure.
Worst case scenario, I'm going to go with the handcuffs. But yeah, it's a 12.
Yeah, I think it is pretty much an empty room, and the chains are like not the worst improvised weapon in the world. They're heavy, and you could certainly like whack someone with
I'm going to
them.
be holding those then, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Oh, that is a natural 20, baby.
Yes!
So that comes to a
Nira
total of
teleports outside the prison.
26 for her. And you see she sort of like just very silently sneaks her arm through the bars, down to the doorknob, sticks her thieves' tools in, and it's only like maybe 10 seconds of very tense kind of like clicking sounds as she manipulates them with her fingers. And then you guys both hear a soft click as the door unlatches, and she kind of like real quick pulls her arm back in. And you both hang on a second and don't even hear anything.
Okay.
So the door is now unlocked. She, like, looks over at you and gives, like, a big thumbs up.
Okay. I, like, keep it so it doesn't, like, close, but, like, looks like it's closed is how we're holding it right now.
Okay.
Okay. You didn't see where they brought anyone else when we were brought in?
Mm-mm.
Which way did we come? Were you bagged?
Mm-hmm. I'm blindfolded.
Okay. I peek out the window again. Is there a door on the other end where the guards aren't, or is it just, like, wall?
It is just wall.
Okay.
It's, like, wall on one side and then guards at the end of the hallway.
And all the other doors are between us and the guards, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can make me another perception check if
Okay.
you'd like, now that you've had a little bit more time.
Don't bother.
Yeah, you see the same thing you've seen before.
I got a 5 this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm mad at you, but I know that you wouldn't do this to me if you didn't do this to my friends if you didn't have the choice. I look at her intensely while I say that. Can I make an insight check?
You can.
I don't know if he's gonna choose to believe it or not, but 16.
16. You see guilt in her eyes for sure. Yeah. And a kind of like flicker of like genuine, yeah, like she really felt backed into a corner, and was trying to make the best decision for the people she cared about, which were her crew and also you. And it was not a sort of like, I'm just going to do this because it's advantageous to me. It was like I'm backed into a corner and this is my best exit. Yeah. And you also see, like, with a 16, I think you get a little bit of surprise, as if she was, like, not quite expecting you to, like... There was a part of her that... The reason she wasn't, like, here, I've got a way out immediately, was because she maybe thought that you just try to kill her immediately.
Oh, Jesus.
And so she had to verify that that wasn't true first. And so there's a little bit of kind of, like, she's still very wary of kind of where the two of you stand. She says, I want to get out of here.
If Finn got away, he's with the people that took me in. And I'm not sure if we can trust them, but they have the information on how to get here. So Finn at least will know where we are.
Okay.
So we need to find...
Well, I don't want to sit here and wait for a rescue squad.
No, we need to find Regin.
Okay.
He might try and attack you.
Okay. Noted.
With good reason.
To be fair, that's true for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't... I'm sorry, I don't know if I will stop him in that scenario, so just be ready for that.
Sure. Okay.
Do you know, did we go downstairs? Do you know how many turns we made?
We went downstairs. I think we only went down one flight of stairs.
Okay.
There was some walking around and then a flight of stairs. And then not much walking before we were in here.
Okay, so we might be below ground level.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't a long walk?
Mm-mm. Well, we went in and then walked around a bit and then went down. And then at the bottom of the stairs, there was like a short walk and then getting shoved in a cell.
Okay. I don't suppose you remember which way you turned.
Right.
Okay.
As in, I turned right, not that I don't remember.
Yeah. No, I got you.
You know.
I got you. Okay. If Regin's not in this hall, if I can get upstairs, I think if Regin's not down here, we'll see how many hallways they are. We'll see how much time we have.
Yeah.
How do we want to take care of these guards?
She, like, kind of flips her dagger in her hand.
This is all in a whisper, of course.
Yes, of course. She flips her dagger in her hands and she's like, honestly, I think we can take them. They don't look that tough.
All right. In that case, Hannah, how can I use my handcuffs? What will you let me count those as?
That will be an improvised weapon. I think I'm going to say it's going to do a D4 bludgeoning.
Okay. Do I get any addition to that?
You would be considered proficient in this.
So I get my normal plus 7.
Proficiency bonus and your strength. Yeah, you get your normal plus 7. It just does a D4 plus your strength mod.
Okay. So...
Sneak down the hallway, slit his throat.
They're facing the other way. If we can, check the other rooms. If Regin's in there, take the guards out, then get Regin. If he's not, we'll have to come back for whoever's down here. Okay, yeah. Priorities. You guys kind of quietly
crack the door open. Cast Without Trace is still up. I need stealth check from you and Mira. Hey, guess what? Really plus side here, you don't have disadvantage.
So true, I don't have any armor on.
No armor to give you disadvantage.
Christ. Alright, it'll be a dirty 20. No, that's not true. It'll be a 19.
19. And she has a 28.
So I still have a -1.
I am going to make perception checks for both these guys because they are, like, actively on guard. Okay. They rolled decent, but not that well. So you guys are able to kind of creep out into the hallway without immediately alerting the guards. You take kind of a couple steps down. Do you want to look at, there's a cell across from you, there's one that was, like, next to you, and then there's the one, like, diagonal from you.
Real quick before I do that, something else I would have asked her in the cell is if she knows when our things were taken from us.
Right away.
Okay.
Because just in case you woke up.
So they could be anywhere.
Yeah.
They could still be on the Lost Crystal. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we'll just start with the one right across from us.
Okay. You look in the one across from you. There it is just empty.
Okay.
There's nobody in there.
And, I mean, we'll check the rest of them as well.
Okay. You go to, I'm gonna say you sort of, like, split up. She goes to the one that was next to you. You go to the other one.
And just to note, we're not, like, sticking our whole face in. We're peering in so that, like, if someone is in there, they might hopefully not see us at first.
Cool. You kind of peek in. Malachi, you check the one that was diagonal from you, and you see Regin and Alden sitting next to each other against the wall. Neither of their passive perceptions beat your stealth check, so they do not immediately notice you.
Can I position myself so that Alden cannot see me?
No. I don't think you can position yourself so that Regin can see you and Alden can't.
Oh, no, because they're sitting next to each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're super making out.
You are
They're
not.
not making out.
So, I guess, can I get Nira next to me? How many lockpicks does she have?
She's just got the one set, but she hasn't broken them yet, so...
Is it stupid to try and toss those into them?
I think... So, Nira was able to, like, snake her arm in because her arm is pretty skinny.
Right.
Alden and Regin are both... Well, Regin's not strength-based, but Regin has 16 strength or whatever he's got. I'm gonna say that their arms just wouldn't fit through.
Yeah, I'm fucking yoked, bro.
Right, no, I mean, like, if I toss it through the window for them to do their handcuffs.
Yeah, you could do that, but then they'd have to toss it back, and then you're risking the guards hearing you, but I mean...
Well, they wouldn't toss it back, we'd go and fight the guards.
Why not just open the door?
Because the guards would hear it, right?
You could try it.
I just don't want them to have time to alert someone before they come in.
Yeah, basically right now you would get a surprise round if you just go directly to the guards right now. If you try to do something else, we're going to have to do more stealth checks, and the DC is getting higher because it's been longer.
Just leave us there. We're chilling.
I'm going to come back after we knock the guards out.
We're fine.
And you guys will hear us doing that, so you'll know something's up.
Okay. So you're going to go creep up behind the guards?
Do the guards look tough?
No. As you're now close enough to them, the 3 and a 5 on your perception check couldn't tell you this, but they do just look like normal guards.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna attack the guards, I assume.
Sick. You go ahead and roll initiative for me, although this is a surprise round, so they're not gonna act on the first round.
A 9.
Okay. So, surprise round. Nira acts first. She is going to go up behind the guard on the right and try to just slit his throat.
Nice.
I believe she gets advantage because they are surprised or something.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Yeah, I think this counts as attacking from hidden. And so you get advantage on that. Good job. That is a flat 20 for her. And she will do... Oh, cool. She does 7 damage to this guy as she draws her knife across his throat. He does not fall, but is kind of like clutching at his throat, like.
So probably couldn't talk though.
No, couldn't.
Nice.
That is guards would get a turn, but they don't because they're surprised. Malachi, that's you.
I would like to get the handcuffs around the guy's throat and try and choke him out.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and roll to hit.
Can't talk if you're being strangled.
I will say, alternatively, if you'd like to just roll to grapple and not do damage, you can do that.
Like cover his mouth, or?
Yeah, like keep him in place.
I mean, I do want to do damage, but...
But, okay, so go ahead and just make an attack, then.
That's gonna be a 25?
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll a d4 plus your strength.
That's 7 damage.
Awesome. His face is kind of like starting to turn blue. Top of round 1, Nira's going to try to finish off the guy that she's got.
Nice.
Just hits.
Nice.
She exactly hits his armor class. So that will be 6 damage, which is enough. You see she draws her knife the rest of the way across this guy's throat, and he drops.
I was 2 days for retirement.
Yeah, she's not doing non-lethal damage. This man is dead. However, the guard that you have, Malachi, gets a turn. He is going to attempt to break away from you and lunge for a button on the wall. You and Nira can both take opportunity attacks on him as he goes to move.
There are buttons in this world?
Yes. But you and Nira both get opportunity attacks on this guy as he lunges for this button. Ooh. Nira misses hers.
I hit. That's a 24.
Cool. Yep, definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I kind of try and yank him back by the throat.
Mm-hmm.
7 damage again.
Beautifully done. Yeah, as he kind of starts to lunge for this button, you pull him back and pull the chain tight.
Snapping his neck.
Yep, and snap his neck.
I was actually still a long way away from retirement.
Good.
Cool. And you guys can...
We grab the bodies, immediately drag them back to our cell.
Cool. Grab the bodies, drag them back to your cell. You kind of throw them in there, shut the door. Regin, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh, geez, that's me.
Uh-huh.
Can I take their armor and weapons, Hannah?
Yes, and in fact, I was hoping you would.
Aren't you a little tall for a stormtrooper?
Cool.
They both have, each of them has a sword and a dagger on them.
I got 6.
Wow. We're so perceptive.
Wow, and Alden got a nat 1.
Yes.
So neither you nor he hear anything.
Alden's eyes are closed. Alden is napping on my shoulder. Yeah. And I have kind of just a glazed expression because I'm doing a 1,000-yard stare in here.
They both have a long sword, Taylor. So that is, you and Nira are now in possession of 2 long swords and 2 daggers, and then also her dagger. If you want to see if they have anything else on their bodies, you need to take the time and make an investigation check.
Okay. Still not as good as my axe, but...
It's true.
But now Hannah gets to say I have a sword.
I know, now I'll be correct. My master plan all along.
And what about the armor? Is it...
They are both wearing... They both have chain shirts.
Which would make it... What I see.
13 plus Dex mod, max 2.
So 12.
You ain't naked anymore.
It's better than nothing.
Better than 9.
Yeah.
Okay, do you take the time to put the chain shirt on? That does take a couple of minutes.
Ooh. Yes.
In fact, it takes 5 minutes to be specific.
Can I also have asked Nira before if she'd noticed any changing of the guard while we were there in the 6 hours?
She will tell you that she notices that they change every couple hours, but that she's pretty sure you're in the middle of a shift right now, so there shouldn't be anyone immediately coming. She will also... Well, let me roll for this. Oh, her perception is awful. Yeah, she just knows that, she's like, they change the shift every couple hours and we should be in the middle of it now.
It's 5 minutes?
She's like, I can go let them out while you're doing this.
Regin hates you. I assume.
Fair. Justifiable.
If I put this on, I'm still just gonna look like me, right? I'm not gonna look like I'm one of the guards. I'm not gonna fool anybody.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will hold on to it for the moment and then put it on in Alden and Regin's cell.
Okay, cool. You hold on to it. You guys go over to... Are you going to signal Alden and Regin, or are you just going to start picking the lock?
I'm gonna stick my face in the window.
Uh-huh.
Go... Regin. Okay, listeners can't hear that, but I put my finger over my lips after I say Regin's name.
Alden looks up at you. Regin presumably also.
Probably needs Alden has to elbow Regin. But yeah, Regin looks up, sees Malachi, and just does like a...
Auditory medium?
Listeners, for context, that was an indignant kind of shrug.
Nani and I are doing a fascinating exchange of charades right now.
Yeah. You can't see it, but trust us.
Kind of like when you gesture at somebody with your hands outstretched, but in kind of an incredulous way.
Yeah. So I hold up my hands, which aren't cuffed, and I signal picking a lock, and I tell him to be quiet.
Alden, like, leans over to you, Regin, and he's like, did Malachi pick a lock?
Fucking apparently.
Oh my god, okay.
And
Great.
he's always up my ass for doing illegal things. That little bitch.
I'm just gonna sit in prison?
No, I'm more upset about the fact that you apparently have this skill set, because I haven't seen
when
Nira.
we open the door, I do not let Nira go in before me, just to be clear.
Okay. Nira will go ahead and make a Thieves' Tools check. Do you want to give her the help action?
Yes, for sure. Can I also just be, like, keeping an eye out down the hall?
Ooh. Man, she's rolling bad on Thieves' Tools and good on everything else. Except for that one nat 20 when she needed it. Malachi, make me a perception check for keeping an eye out down the hall.
Wow. My first middling check on perception. That's an 11.
Okay. You do not hear anything. You, like, don't hear footsteps coming or anything like that, but you do hear kind of, like, as you're listening very hard for anything, a sort of, like, scratching sound in the hallway kind of out there, as if there's something moving back and forth, but it sounds like mechanical rather than like a person.
Hannah, I'm gonna stand up and I want to position myself flat against the wall next to the door.
Okay. Alden will also stand up, kind of raises an eyebrow at you, but does not do the same because he doesn't know what you're doing.
I'm gonna ambush them. If there's a trick, I'm gonna ambush them.
Okay.
You know, like an insane person. A little bit of a twitch in his bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, okay. So, like, as soon as Nira does get it, I want to move her to the side.
Okay.
Does the door open inwards or outwards?
Man, I don't know. Probably outwards would make more sense. I don't know how they build prison cells.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say outwards.
Okay. Does she get it?
Yeah, she gets. I'm sorry. It takes her a little while, but eventually she manages to click it open and kind of pulls the door open.
Okay.
And sort of like steps to the side.
I, knowing Regin to be the weird-ass bitch that he is, open the door wide so that he can see everything except for Nira immediately. And say, the guards are in my cell. There's something in the hall. We're gonna bring the stuff in here so that we can prepare to leave. Okay?
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Nira was in the cell with me. She is the one who picked the locks. We're gonna use her. We're not gonna trust her, we're gonna use her. Believe me.
Alden looks at you, Regin.
I look at Regin, like, dead serious. I'm like, believe me, there is no one who has less reason to trust her right now than me.
I kind of give Malachi a dirty look, but I just nod once.
She's got the lockpicks.
Alden, like, exhales and shakes his head and is like, okay, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, thank you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I've been better, but are you okay?
I turn to Regin. Are you okay?
So far.
No one's been in, I ask Alden.
No.
Elsewhere, I turn to Nurgle. Are you okay?
Okay. Okay. Nira and I bring the stuff in there.
By the stuff, you mean the armor?
I allow Nira into the room.
Yeah. Nira kind of, like, enters, gives you guys both, like, a sheepish wave. Hi, yes, hello. Hey, Alden, long time no see. Let me get the chains off you guys. And she will set to work basically picking the locks on the chains, while Malachi puts on the armor.
Yeah. Who else would do best with the other chain of mail, Hannah?
Alden.
Okay.
Because Regin has
his stuff.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you, in the interest of them being your allies, Nira has an ability where she adds her charisma modifier to her armor class as long as she's not wearing armor.
That's awesome.
So her armor class is actually high, as long as she's not wearing armor.
So I will offer the other chainmail to Alden and help him don it.
No, I wanted to help him.
You're handcuffed!
Regin can help him. Nira just rolled double 19s on picking you guys' chains, so these come a lot quicker than the door. So I will say in a total of like 7-ish minutes, you can get everybody out of chains and into armor.
And I'm taking a sword.
Okay.
Whoever would do best with the rest of these, take whatever you need. It's the 2 daggers, the sword, and Nira's dagger, right?
Yeah. Nira will take another dagger and kind of like hold it. Like, this is hers now.
I'll take a sword and a dagger.
That means Alden has nothing, you know.
Yeah, that leaves Alden with no weapon.
What about her dagger?
She's using both.
Nira is trying to take 2 daggers. Unless someone tells her she can't.
Understood.
But one is hers, yeah.
One's the tiny little blade that was in her arm.
Alden's probably better with swords.
Is Alden a reclassed fighter? Is that his deal?
He's an NPC, but he's based on being a fighter. Yeah. He would do best with a sword, but I will say that kind of looking at him, you can tell that while the rest of you are fine,
he's been here longer.
Alden is not at full HP and probably is taking some, like, penalties to his attacks and such.
I can still lay on hands, can't I?
Yes, lay on hands is not magic.
How bad does he look?
He out of a maximum of 60 hit points, he's at 40. Oh, sorry. Out of a maximum of 70 hit points, he is at 40.
Wow, he's almost as tough as me. I'm wondering if maybe I save these for emergency.
Yeah, save them in case anybody goes down.
Because, like, right now, can take a couple hits, probably, unless it's, like, a big magic attack, so...
Yeah, because he's more dex build, so I'll give him the sword, and I'll take the last dagger.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wrap the chains around my fists like improvised brass knuckles.
Great.
I feel safe now.
I do pull the door kind of closed behind us while we're doing this, but not all the way shut, of course. And I lay out to them what Nira told me about basically the layout that we are aware of.
And Alden communicates what he knows. He tells you the same thing that he told Regin about, that he thinks there's at least 4 floors above ground and maybe more on top of that, and that the highest up he's been is the 3rd floor. And he's like, that's where there's an operating room.
And you don't know where Nell is?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I think after we are all set... Well, Alden, I don't know if you have anything that would change this, but we were thinking... grab you, and that's about as far as we got. No, get up.
Great plan, really good plan.
Get upstairs, which sounds like it'll be good to get out of the anti-magic field. Do they keep you blindfolded while they walk you around?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I've got is based on what I can tell.
Right. And Regin Finn got away, obviously.
You're fucking shitting me.
Yeah, no, he did his lurker stuff and he went into the ocean. So, presumably he either met up with Shala and Mar. I don't know what they're doing, but at least he probably has a ship. And
we've got a man on the outside.
And yeah, he knows how to get here. He knows how to get to HQ. So presumably, if people on the way, even if it's just him.
I'm afraid of him.
Yeah, no, I think. Sounds like Finn's gotten scarier, which is a good thing for us, I suppose, but...
Maybe you should consider re-swearing to a different god. Maybe you should become a paladin and a lurker.
Yeah!
No.
Alden looks at you and he's like, you could become a paladin of the lurker.
We're always hiring!
That would mean he has to swear to someone else.
Regin makes a very contemplative expression. Regin is seriously pondering this now.
Okay.
Cool.
Should we...
Nira looks back and forth between the other 3 of you and is like, whatever we do, we shouldn't keep standing here.
No, we need to go. We don't have any way off the island, even if we get out of the building.
Alden shrugs and he's like, well, last time I was breaking out of one of these facilities, a boat just kind of appeared out of circumstance.
You know what?
So
yeah, no, it's been 6 fucking days, so Finn's probably well on his way.
I can hotwire
Maybe
a boat.
Shiloh will even be on the boat again, which would be a wild coincidence, because that's what it was last time, but hey. I'd certainly take that again.
I think not knowing where Nella is now, we'd do better to try and get out and regroup. No?
I don't want to leave without them.
Not leave the island. I mean, get out of where we are kept in.
Let's get out of this cell block and see where it goes from there.
I don't want to just go running around a compound.
Malachi, you can give me persuasion or intimidation. This is Alden does not want to leave Nell in danger.
Yeah.
Very strongly. This is just to talk him into being open to the options.
Yeah, I just don't know how we would find them. You know what? Okay. Once we get out into a range where we can use magic, we'll assess our options on the fly.
Okay. The four of you sort of exchange glances, take your stolen weapons and armor, and begin to make your way out of the cell block.
I give Nira kind of an up-down look, and I just go, I should have shot you in the back when I had the chance.
Yeah, that certainly would have gotten all of this over with a lot quicker.
Mm.
And the four of you start to head out into the hallway to see what you can find. Let me get stealth checks from all four of you, because I assume you're going to try and creep out into the hallway.
Does the pass without trace now apply to them or no?
I believe the way pass without trace works is that as long as they stay within 30 feet of you, they get it, or within 10 feet or whatever pass without trace is. So as long as you're all clumped up,
okay.
I'm going to say it applies.
Regin, in that case, gets a 25.
I also got a 25. No, I have a 24. Fuck, I have -1 stealth.
I've got a 20 for Alden and a 22 for Nira. So frankly, not all that high, which means I do need to roll for... You guys all kind of, like, poke your heads around this corner.
And we're, of course, stacked head over head. And
Of course, stacked head over head. Picture it that way. You see that the hallway extends down in both directions. It kind of like goes in both directions and then turns in both directions. You can still feel the presence of the anti-magic field. You don't feel it like go away as you stick your head out or anything. But what you do see, as you look to your left, are two constructs, two like robotic creatures that are like pacing back and forth in this hallway. They are like about the size of you guys, like about person sized. They have these like overlapping plates of bronze that kind of like open up, so they almost look like big flowers, and these sort of like short legs underneath it, and these long flower-like arms you can see are lined with like jagged edges, and they also have these eyes that are searching back and forth, and as you guys stick your heads out, you see the one that is closer to you, one of the eyes kind of like snaps toward you, and a mouth opens up and starts to let out this green vapor into the air. And that is where we will end our session with these robot-y guys in the hallway.
You jerks, you interrupted them while they were trying to get blazed.
Malachi gets an instant contact high.
Yes, Andy does think that weed smoke is green.
Yeah, isn't it? Cool. Great session.
I was picturing the Boston Dynamics dogs.
Oh, no.
That description was nothing like the Boston Dynamics dog.
No.
Well, when she first said there were mechanical constructs
It's
pacing
true.
the halls, I was like, Boston Dynamics dogs.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed it, which I hope you did, you can find us other places on the internet at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. And you can also find us at our Patreon, which is patreon.com/shipoffools, for lots of our fun bonus content, including our exclusive after show and lots of other fun stuff on there. As always, there are a couple people we have to thank. Theo Golden for our beautiful logo art. You can find him at tgoldenart on Instagram. And Lucas Mangold for our theme music. You can find him at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com. That's Carl with a K, for all of your music needs. And you can find us back with the next episode on February 1st. Until then, I'll see you on the open seas. Bye!
Regin makes a very contemplative expression. Regin is seriously pondering this now. How should we? What a fucked up multi-class that would be.
I would actually drop out. if you became a paladin of the lurker, I couldn't fight you guys on that.
6 sorcerer, 1 barbarian, 1 paladin.
1 lurkadin.
And they both are talking about the lurker non-fucking stop. Malachi would just drown himself.
We wouldn't let you drown. Not in our ocean.
They would do it for me.